morning. I think I'm getting a couch today. I say I think because it's being delivered with FedEx and you just never know with FedEx. So the couch, the company already emailed me and said that it comes in 4 pieces, and sometimes the pieces get delivered on different dates. So I already knew that that was a thing, but they say it's most common for like 2 to get delivered one day, 2 to get delivered the next day. So it's Saturday, and the first 2 already came since Thursday, and the next 2 was supposed to come yesterday, Friday. Of course it was delayed because of course. The thing about the first 2 pieces, I remember thinking like, it's out for delivery the day that it was, and I was like, this is actually on time. But I didn't get too excited because there was one time my bed was out for delivery and they just didn't deliver it. So it literally said delivery not attempted. So I didn't get too excited. I went on about my business and I said, if it's there, it's there. So I was leaving going downstairs, leaving the house. Turns out the 2 pieces were at the bottom of the stairs when I live on the 3rd floor. I'm just one person. I don't have anyone else to help me. Lucky for me, it was just the ottoman and the armrest. Kind of annoying that they deliver those pieces first. Those aren't pieces that I could even try to sit on. But anyway, the armrest and the ottoman, those were a little bit lighter, so I just took them upstairs one by one. Still was out of breath. I really gotta work on my upper body strength for when FedEx wants to mess around with me. I'm just glad that they didn't do that for my mattress and my bed frame, because truly just taking those out of the box, I was struggling. Those are really heavy. So I'm glad they actually put those at the top of this, like actually by my door. So I had to call FedEx and say, hey, so you know the other 2 that's coming tomorrow, can you actually like put them by my door? Because I think those are gonna be the heavier pieces. Those are the actual meat of the chair. I think those are gonna be the heavy parts. So I had to call them and like put in a request for it to be specifically delivered to my door, even though on the delivery like tracking, the ones that he left at the bottom of the stairs, he put the thing that says left at door. Like that's not a door, but okay. I've noticed it though when I walk around this complex that people's packages would just be like right by the staircase, which is, I'm guessing he just doesn't want to walk up the stairs, because I see smaller packages too. It's not even about the weight. And I understand also like these things are heavier and you probably don't want to do this, but isn't that a part of the job description? Like, don't you literally need to know how to carry a certain amount of pounds to be a driver? I don't want to sound entitled, but if it was any heavier than they were, I quite literally would not be able to get it up the stairs. And I'm here alone. I also thought that they would have like the little trolley things to help them. Yeah, I'm just hoping for the best. So today I'm meant to get a couch. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they deliver it. We'll see if they actually bring it to my door. But other than that, I'm just kind of gonna try to start breaking down some boxes. Every delivery I've gotten, I've just left, the boxes are piling up. I really need to do that. I made a to-do list yesterday and I need to look at it. But for now, let's just eat breakfast. I'm watching Shaughnessy's new video. It's Saturday. Shaughnessy Saturdays. And I'm gonna make a matcha, of course. There was one day, a couple of days ago, that I had 2 matchas in one day and I couldn't sleep. I stayed awake all night. It was actually the day that my last video wasn't uploading, so that kind of worked out in itself. I couldn't sleep anyway, and so I spent all night trying to get that video to upload, and it only uploaded at like 5 a.m. when I started trying to upload it, I think at like 8 p.m. the night before. I don't know what was going on. I hope this isn't gonna be a regular thing here. I don't know if it's my internet. I literally don't know. I have no idea if it's YouTube or what, but yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is that I had 2 matchas because I always forget how much caffeine is actually in matcha. Like sometimes I forget there's caffeine at all, and I'm just like, it's a fun little drink, let me have my drink. And then I'm awake, I have two of them, I'm awake all night. So only one for me. I also tried a new milk and it's not good. This milk, I feel like everyone gets this one when they talk about oat milk. Like they say this is a really good one, the Chobani extra creamy. I don't like it. It also makes my matcha, like no matter how little I put, it makes my matcha a lot lighter than the other milk. I don't even know, but I don't love it. I won't get this one again. I actually don't know if I ever showed this chair because I built this the night before I left to go back to New York, and I never actually really sat in it. But I've been eating here. This is meant to be an office little space, but it's all I've got so far. So I've been eating here. Listen, it works. Also, I got this chair with no measurements, and it's almost perfect. Like there's this extra piece of wood here, and so the chair doesn't go all the way under because of the handles. But honestly, it's completely fine. Like it goes in enough, it's never in the way, and I can still like be close enough to the desk area. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, no measurements. And then after that, I realized I really needed to get tape measure. Is that what that's called? Why do I feel like tape measure is the one that you use for clothes, and then the other one that you use for everything else is called something else? Is it? I don't know. Oh, I mean, measuring tape. Wasn't that far off, but yeah, I had to get this. Another thing is that I didn't actually measure the couch because I wanted to buy it before I even got here to give it time to deliver. And I did come home and do the measurements after, and it looks like it's going to fit perfectly. So fingers crossed. I think I hear my sausages sizzling. My breakfast is always half and half. Like I just made this little egg scramble thing. It was just eggs, bell peppers, green and red, and mushrooms, garlic salt. And that also finishes way before the sausages. So I'm just waiting to eat my sausages. I always feel like I need to wear this bracelet because I'm getting very tan. No, you know what I sat down to talk about? Allergies. But anyway, yeah, I feel like I need to wear this bracelet to cover. I don't think you can see it, but like there's a very obvious difference when I wear this in the sun. There's like a lighter part here. My sausages are ready. Okay, so what I wanted to say about my allergies is that it's the worst that it's ever been this year. I usually get a little sneezy and my nose like bothers me a little bit, but this year my entire face has been itching. My eyes have been itching so bad, sneezing way more, my throat feels scratchy, and I don't know what I should take. I should probably take something for it, but it's just so like random throughout the day too. Like it would happen for maybe 2 hours and then I would be completely fine, like if nothing ever happened. So I would kind of just forget and never pick up something. But I currently have some tiny bumps on my cheeks, and I don't know if you can see it, but I think I only saw it when I went like really close to the mirror, and I like see it more when I like wrinkle my cheeks like that. Anyway, it looks like an allergic reaction. I'm not saying it's just from allergies, because I actually started using 2 new skincare products. It probably is the skincare, but also the fact that my whole face has been itching. I'm just like, I don't know what it even really is, but I'm gonna stop using the skincare products and we'll see if it's just spring. I started using a sunscreen because my old sunscreen, it's a Korean sunscreen, and they had to change all of those to suit our FDA regulations or whatever. That is so annoying. But anyway, I wanted to just use a sunscreen that's made here, and I don't have to worry about the formula randomly changing on a Tuesday. So I got the Supergoop Invisible one, and it was actually really, really good. I honestly hope that that's not the thing that's making me break out. I didn't put on any sunscreen today, so I really can't go outside today. I really like the formula of it. When it says invisible, it truly is. Like, it goes on so clear, and it's like a gel. I love how it feels, and I think it's gonna be something that'll feel good under makeup. Like, I haven't worn it with makeup yet, but I just know. I could tell. It honestly kind of feels like a primer a little bit. So I hope it's not that. I also started using Laneige, I think that's how you pronounce it. Their toner. It's like ceramides with peptides. If it's that, that's completely fine. Like, I will take that out of my skincare routine. I already stopped using it. Well, last night. I still have to wait and see. I'm actually hoping that it's that, because one, that product's expensive. So if it doesn't agree with me, that's me saving money. And then also sunscreen is like a necessity, especially here. So, well, everywhere, but the sun is extra brutal here. So I'm hoping it's not my sunscreen, because I don't even know how I'm gonna survive like going a couple days, because my thought process is that I'm gonna like go a couple days without using the 2 new things that I added in, and see if that's what it is. Or honestly, if it's just this spring and it's just the allergies because my whole face has been itching, like, that's fine too. Spring will pass. I don't know how to figure this out. I can't say that I'm not allergic to anything, but I don't know of anything that I'm allergic to. There was one time I ate these coconut, I think they call them cocoa rolls or something like that, and they were so good. And only at like, I was eating the whole bag, only at like the ending of the bag, my throat started to feel like it was closing up, and I felt like I could barely breathe. But this is so embarrassing. I was like, well, I might as well just finish it. That was really greedy behavior on my part, and nothing happened though. I just drank a lot of water and it went away. So maybe I have like mild allergies to things, but nothing. Well, your throat closing up is pretty extreme. But the fact that I continued eating it and I was just completely fine makes me think it wasn't too serious. I just slept it off. I don't know much about allergies, if I'm being so for real, because I like food allergies. Allergies with nature, yeah. But food allergies, I don't know much about it, because I've just never known myself to be allergic to anything. I completely forgot that I set my ice maker thing to the crushed ice setting, because I just wanted to test it out. I did that last night, and when I started filling this up, I was like, oh no, my ice maker is broken. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I accidentally made a matcha slushie by using that ice. A little bit of the ice is coming up the straw. I kind of like it. This is what I'm dealing with the boxes, and then I have to unpack too, so let's start that. I'm just gonna put these boxes in this closet for now, because the next time they're coming to pick up the trash is tomorrow, I think, and I don't want to leave it out. I don't think we're allowed to leave it out, even though other people do it. The bigger ones, like the ones that my mattress came in and that my bed frame came in, I don't exactly know how to break those down, so I think I would just walk them over to the huge bin. I'm gonna unbox the 2 pieces that I do have of the couch now, so I can break down these boxes too and just hope that the other 2 pieces come today. I'm watching Rosalie now. I was watching Shaughnessy, then Heather, now Rosalie. I feel like I could never really be alone because I always have something on in the background. So I just finished putting together the ottoman. I think it's gonna be really comfortable. Feels really nice and like soft enough, but also firm enough. Feels solid. But as I finished this, I decided to look and see where, like, if my the rest of it has been delivered, because it had a time window. It was delivered. It's like 1:55 now. It was delivered at 1:33. But guess where it is? Yeah, it's down the stairs. It says my driver's name is Kadeem. Kadeem, you will rue this day. So I guess I'm gonna go down there now and struggle. I hope it's not too heavy. But honestly, it delivered perfect timing because now I could just complete the rest of the couch. I'm literally sweating. This is a single sofa. The other 2 seats are in one package downstairs. This, I was fighting for my life to get up here. This is the single one. This is the lighter one. How am I getting the other ones up here? Kadeem, I hope you're having literally the worst day of your life. Oh my God. I'm literally dripping in sweat. I've never sweat like this in my entire life. The package also still isn't up here yet. It's at the bottom of the 3rd floor though. It's at the bottom of that staircase. It's currently on the 2nd floor. I decided to take a break and I'm gonna use that break to call FedEx. Because this is not okay. The thing is, like, when you go through something like this, the appropriate thing would just be to never use FedEx again, but I feel like these companies aren't giving you a choice. I don't know what you're gonna ship with. Even when you try to look it up, they're like, oh, we use UPS, USPS, and FedEx. You don't know which one it's gonna be. I literally never want a package from FedEx again. And I know that it's more complicated to cancel your shipments after they're already shipped, and I'm only gonna know what they're using after it's shipped, but I'm still gonna try it anyway. I don't want anything from FedEx to ever get... This is... Do you see this? This is gross! I'm literally dripping in sweat. When I say I wanted to be an independent woman, this is not what I mean. I'm 126 pounds. This one box alone is 93 pounds. Listen, I'm not a weight trainer. I know that people lift their own weight all the time. I don't have the muscle for that. This is not okay. I will be going into the gym more and thinking about this moment. I have to train to deliver my own packages because grown-ass men like Kadeem doesn't want to do it. So I have to do it. I'm gonna go take a shower. I feel disgusting. And then we'll come back and build the rest of the couch. Just based on the ottoman, it honestly looks like it's gonna be a nice couch. I hope it's a nice couch after this. I also did call FedEx, and there is a case, and I called them out by name. I'm sorry, but you will not get away with this. We're just gonna move on from all of that just happened. It's gonna be hard for me. I've never moved on from anything day in my life, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try because what was all of that? We're moving on, it's fine. I'm gonna try to build the rest of this couch while watching All American because I feel like that's gonna be the most peaceful thing to do. Just watch my show and try to focus on building the couch. Speaking of All American, I started the new season and I was like, who are these kids? Literally, who are all these kids? And it makes sense because when I think about it, Spencer and Liv's story in the last season, it felt like it wrapped up so nicely. But honestly, maybe they could have ended the show. Not that I'm not enjoying this season, but it doesn't hit the same. You know, it's still good though. And I feel like these kids are gonna get better at acting. Not saying that they're bad right now, but I could see that they're new to it. I still love the show though, and I probably will watch every season no matter what. Like, I know sometimes shows need to just give up and end it before people lose interest, but I'll still watch. I don't know, I love it. It's such a, actually, I was about to say it's a comfort show. A lot goes down. It's not comforting, but I just love it. I just love having it on while I do stuff. I feel like I probably look like it's a whole different day because my hair was laying completely different earlier before all that happened, and then I sweated out and now it looks kind of a mess and it's fine. It's just the versatility of natural hair. It's actually very funny of me to call this show comforting when the most traumatizing things happen. And another one just did. I love shows when the main characters are not like protected just because they're the main characters. Like these types of shows where, like Shonda Rhimes, she is not afraid to kill any main character. I don't think anyone's dead, but still. Didn't expect that. So now I have to undo all of that and do it all again. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. We've got the base. All the cushions are over there. More boxes that I'm gonna have to break down. And now I just gotta put this into there. Like this is the back of it. And put the little pieces on the bottom. And then I think that'll be all. I'll just put the cushions on. I am so tired. I feel like crying. It feels sturdy. I hope it is because I am not flipping this over to fix screws. We're just gonna have to hope for the best, but it feels good. And the cushions are so soft. I needed that. the only thing that I would change about this couch is the color. Like, this is beige, and it came in beige, like this olive green, and it also came in gray. So I was thinking about getting the gray, but I just feel like a big gray couch is gonna darken the entire living room. And yeah, I preferred this color. I was kind of thinking about if I'm gonna get it dirty or not. I wish they had khaki. I feel like khaki is the perfect color that's like still kind of bright, like bright enough, but stains kind of blend in. I used to have a khaki couch and I definitely did stain it a bit, so I just have to be extra careful. And I think I want to get a bunch of blankets and make sure I always have blankets when I'm on here with food. Listen, I wish I could be one of those people that's like, I am not gonna eat in the couch, I'm gonna eat in the couch. It's one of the reasons that I'm not even getting a dining table, because I know I'm gonna be sitting on this couch eating. I have to be realistic with myself. I know myself. I could get a dining table and tell myself like, no, you're not gonna eat in the couch. I had a dining table in my last place. It was literally never used, so I just have to hope for the best with this color. But I do really like the color though. I think it's cute. Is it practical? We'll see. I'm gonna go take a walk now, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, because the other things that I wanted to, well, just unpack really, that can wait until tomorrow. Everything else can wait until tomorrow. I just want to take a walk before the sun completely goes down, and yeah, I just need to touch grass for a second. Also, this took 2 hours, like 2 hours and a couple minutes. I started at 3:38 and I finished at 5:44. You see what I was talking about earlier, how this comes out and it doesn't block the door at all, even though I didn't measure it. It literally cuts off at the perfect point. Also, this is the only blanket that I have right now, so I'm leaving that there, and I'll probably change it out to a different color and put some like matching pillows, like get colored pillows, whatever color I decide. But no, I'm not decorating anything yet. Right now, I'm just getting like practical stuff that I can be able to use. One of the reasons that I was so adamant on getting a couch ASAP is because I just can't go sit in my bed until it's time to sleep. And I've noticed I've literally been sitting on this. I've been using this air mattress as my couch, and it's quite sad. So I can finally deflate her. The boxes. I am so sore from yesterday. It's kind of insane. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about why I left New York. So first of all, I feel like moving, it definitely is a big deal, but it doesn't feel like too much of a big deal for me, because after I did my first move from Antigua to Florida to go to university, and I had to I didn't do the move itself alone. My parents came with me, but I was staying there alone. They were just with me for like 1 week, and then they left. They went back home. I was there, and I was living alone for the first time. I was 18 years old. It was literally like 3 months after I turned 18. So yeah, that was a big move in my life. That was the major move of my life. And anything after that feels like nothing. It wasn't really that big of a deal for me. It wasn't really something that I was like, no, I shouldn't do this. Like, that's gonna freak me out. It definitely wouldn't, because the first one freaked me out enough. And now everything else feels easier. After that, I moved apartments within that city twice. So there was the first big move, moving apartments within that city twice, and then I moved to New York, and now I'm here. All that happened within like 7 years too, so I don't know, moving, it is hard, especially when you're doing a lot of it alone, and it is annoying because there's just so much to the actual process, but it also just wasn't a big deal for me emotionally, and I don't ever really feel like I'm leaving too much behind, if that makes sense. To my sister, I'm gonna miss you. The first thing is that I had to leave that apartment that I lived in. I honestly would tell you what apartment it was if my sister didn't still live there, so that I could warn you guys, never go live there. But she's still there. Maybe when she leaves, I'll let you know. I'll give you the warning to never go there. But the walls of that apartment are so thin. Like, the people are loud and noisy and everything too, but the walls are so thin. The things that I hear from other apartments, you should be able to do those things in like, and have your privacy. Like, you have no privacy because the walls are so thin. I hear everyone's phone calls. I hear everyone talking, laughing, all of that. So when they're doing even louder things like throwing their parties at 2 a.m., I was staying up at 2 a.m. until God knows when for a party that I wasn't even invited to. One of my neighbors, this sweet old man, has a dog that gets anxious being alone if you leave him alone. I've said this before, if you leave him alone for 30 minutes, he will bark for 30 minutes straight. There was one time he left him alone for like 8 hours because he went to work, and he barked for 8 hours straight. But he moved in, that was like when he first moved in. He was retiring at the time, and like he stopped going to work, but still he obviously doesn't stay in the house all day. So when he does go out for periods of time, the dog would bark for that entire period of time, really, really loud. It feels like the dog was in my apartment. I think also too, through the halls, things just echo really, really badly. And again, as I said, walls really thin. I feel bad because like there's nothing these people can do about certain things. Like maybe he could take his dog, but like dogs bark. I get it, dogs bark. You can't blame a dog for barking, that's what they do. Yet if the walls weren't so thin, maybe it wouldn't be so like annoying. And then the lady across from me, she had 2 kids, I think, and they were constantly screaming. Happy screaming, sad screaming. And they're not like babies. I know that babies like cry. I think one of them might be like a baby that cries a lot, but the other one is just like a child screaming. And then she would also like get frustrated and scream at the child. She was always cussing someone out on the phone. There was just a lot of screaming coming from that apartment at all times. And the people right across, well, no, so that person that's screaming a lot, she was across from me, but like more to this side, the people directly across from me, they were pretty quiet, but I could hear every time they moved around inside their apartment. And this goes, of course they have to move around in their apartment. This goes back to the walls being so thin, and the construction of the place was just terrible or something. I could hear when the people directly across from me would plug in something to like the outlet. I could hear that, and it would like echo throughout my room. Like, that's so weird. I've never been in a place like that. I've lived in apartments. I know that we connect by the walls, but the weirdest thing about that too is that we technically didn't share a wall, because the other side of my wall was just the hallway, and then it was their door, and I'm guessing their bedroom, whatever. So I don't know why, like every time they came home, I could hear them coming home, and after that, when they get into their room and they're doing whatever in their room, I could hear all of that. And it's just like, of course you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta move around in your own apartment, but also when you're coming home at 2 a.m, all of that wakes me up. If you're coming home at 1 a.m, all that wakes me up. If you're coming home at 3 a.m, or if you're leaving at 4 a.m, all that wakes me up. And for some reason, everything just echoes over there. Like, I know you're probably thinking like, okay, just some little movements woke you up. Like, I don't know why everything felt so loud and just echoed throughout that apartment. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I truly had to leave because of that. I was never getting any sleep. I'm not at the point in my life anymore where I can function on no sleep. There was a time where I couldn't. I remember when I had a coffee addiction, and I would literally not sleep for 48 hours and still go to school, go to class, still did well. I look back at those times like, I don't know if I'm like paying for it now or what, but I think I was Superman back then, because I don't even know. The other thing about that apartment is that the tenants there, they just don't seem to have any consideration for anyone else. There was one time there was a pregnancy test in the shared laundry room thing, and that's why communal laundry will always give me the ick now. Like, you gotta wipe those things down with some disinfectant wipes, but still, yeah, it just gives me the ick now. A used pregnancy test where people are supposed to be washing their clothes. There's been dog pee in the elevator. We have a terrace area where dogs aren't even allowed because there's no real grass up there. There's like the fake grass. They let their dogs run around the fake grass, so I don't even want to know what's in that fake grass. But as you can see, I used to go up there a lot in the past. Like, if you watch my videos from 2020, what year are we in? Yeah, 2023. Actually, I don't know. There was one summer that I went up there a lot, and then I just stopped. It's because like I witnessed these people with their dogs up there, and their dogs was like peeing on the furniture. I just don't understand, of all the places, why the roof? There's also a backyard. Our apartment has a backyard for dogs, like an actual outdoor backyard. There are benches for dog owners. Take your dog to pee out there. And even downstairs, like where you enter from that backyard area, there's like a dog wash. So if your dog gets dirty and you want to wash it off for taking up to the apartment, like that was clearly the space meant for dogs. But you have your dog peeing on fake grass and on the furniture. Oh my God, back to the noise. The most recent thing that my sister told me, this happened when I was already gone. She was sitting in the living room on the couch, and the lady with the screaming kids, she said she heard her, how do I describe this on YouTube? You understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's actually really disturbing. And she should be doing that in her apartment. She shouldn't be doing that in public. Perfect place to do it, but why are we hearing her? Well, not we, my sister. Why are they hearing her do that? It's honestly embarrassing for everyone. I'm pretty sure she did not want anyone to hear her, but the walls are just so thin. Another thing with the walls being thin is every time someone slammed the door, it would literally like rattle the things in my apartment. It would rattle my headboard. It would rattle my actual door. I've never lived in an apartment that does any of that. And it's like, anytime we expressed complaints about noise to management, they just said like, well, you're living in an apartment. That's just apartment living. No. It's literally not. I've lived in apartments that were nothing like that, but you know what? That one was really just garbage, and I needed to get out of there. Another thing is that scents would travel so much. Like, people would smoke weed in their apartments. I mean, this one I'm pretty sure is more common everywhere, because if you're smoking weed inside, which I don't get, like, just go outside and do it, because I think it's legal, right? Anyway, the people right across from me, the ones that were actually quiet, and I never really heard much from them except for when they like came home and started rumbling around their place, like they smoked weed and it would make our entire apartment smell like weed. And I don't like that scent. I don't like the scent of weed. I don't like the scent of cigarettes. I'm not even the one getting the high from it, yet I'm just like sitting in this stink. And so I just didn't enjoy that. We could smell every time someone cooked. The loud woman, she loved to cook fish at like 11 p.m. Sometimes her food would smell good though, so I can't even lie. But there were times that the timing of her cooking was just, everything traveled. It almost felt like we were all in one communal live, like we were in a hostel, It felt like my sister wasn't my only roommate. I felt like I lived with all of them. I could smell everything that she was cooking. My sister could hear when she's doing her explicit activities. I could smell all the weed is coming over to us. Like, I could hear their conversations. Don't say your credit card number out loud because I'll hear it. It was time to go. It was time to go. My sister is there because she's staying in New York, but I'm pretty sure after this lease is up, she's gonna get up on out of there. And I'm gonna be really happy for her because I know what it's like living there in that apartment. So that was like the biggest thing. My apartment sucked. Like, this isn't gonna be me completely shitting on New York. I love New York. My apartment was just terrible. It was a miserable experience to live there. Every day I woke up and I was just like, the thing is, New York is an overstimulating city, and I think not having a safe space to go home to just made it a lot worse for me. Like, I loved being out there in the overstimulating city, but I would love to come home and actually get some sleep and actually have some time of peace, but I never got that, ever. I'm a little bit all over the place, but contributing to the noise was that they did random construction all the time, which was baffling to me because when we moved in to the apartment in October, and they only opened this place in August. Like, we were the first people to ever live in that apartment, and the first people to ever live there, period, was in August. So August to October, that's when we moved in, yet we've experienced so much construction there. There was even a time that they had to replace our entire windows. And it's not a thing where there was like an old building and they changed it for an apartment. No, there was no building there. Actually, when we went to look up the place and we went on the Google, like, I think it's called a geomap or something, there was nothing. It was like empty land because they literally built this from the ground up, yet we have witnessed so much construction. I'm like, is this not a new building? What? It was just cheaply made. They took lots of just cheap ways out of building this place. They had to redo the windows on everyone's apartment. So there was construction for like weeks with that. And then there was redoing the floors for something. And they were redoing the floors like right above us. So that one was rough. But yeah, constant construction within the building was just like, for a new building, why is it so broken? Other random little things about the apartment that just didn't make sense, like the microwave being inside a cupboard on the bottom shelf. So every time we went to microwave your food, you had to bend down. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then the bathrooms, the bathrooms like have the vents where you can switch it on. Some bathrooms, you don't even have an option. Like, once you switch on the light, the vent is attached to the light switch. Like, you switch on the light and the vent goes on with it too. Mine here has two different switches, one for the light, one for the vent. They didn't have a vent at all. So after my really hot long showers, especially on the hair wash day, and there was just so steamy, and I feel like that could cause some long-term problems with mold, but none of my business. I'm gone. I'm really yapping for too long. I gotta make sure my storage doesn't run out. So let me speed this up. So I have more beef with my apartment than New York itself, I feel like. But the thing is that the things that I don't love about New York, I could have been fine with it if I just had a safe space to go home to, but I didn't. I have witnessed 3 people peeing on the street, 3 men whipping it out, just peeing on the street, on the sidewalks, just seeing them openly peeing. I've witnessed that. I've witnessed a woman squatting and taking a dump on the sidewalk that I was walking on, and I had to last minute cross the street. And the most recent one actually, I witnessed a man jacking off in Prospect Park. So that's enough. Is that enough? Is that reason enough? Listen, I know a lot of people are like, well, that's just a city. Like, you're too soft. Yeah, I'm a marshmallow. I am too soft. Oh, I forgot that time my friends were visiting and we got off the train in an area that I wasn't too familiar with, and we walked the wrong way on the platform. So it was like we were going towards the end of the platform by accident, and there was a man behind the staircase injecting himself in the arm. Could be his medication. Yeah, those are things that I've witnessed, and I don't want to witness things anymore. And listen. I know that there are crazy people everywhere. Recently I saw this TikTok of this girl. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was two girls making a TikTok in TJ Maxx, and then another girl walks up to them and starts acting absolutely insane. And that's in South Carolina. And I was like, yeah, crazy people are everywhere. Trust me, I know. But I just feel like I have no place to escape them in New York. I think it's just easier in other states. Like there's more space to like keep your distance. Sometimes in New York you're in a train car, and this one happened to me recently. The man was saying that he's gonna kill all of us and bury all of us alive. So we all slowly just started going to the next cart, and then the next cart was so full. We were like on top of each other because this man was just making so many threats so loud. It's just like, yeah, there's more space to run away in other states. And when it comes to crazy people living everywhere, like I lived in Florida. One thing about my time in New York though, I feel like it drastically improved my reaction time. And just my street smarts in general. I remember there was this one time that I traveled with friends, love you guys so much, but it made me realize how street smart I actually am. No offense to them. But New York is the reason for this, and I'm very, very grateful for that. It really taught me a lot. Here's another thing that's like a completely me problem, nothing to do with New York. It was just me, it was my personal issue. I only felt like I had good days when I spent an obscene amount of money. Those were my best days in New York. Those are the best memories that I have. If I look back on photos or anything, I'm like, oh yeah, I spent blah, 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 I spent blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't have a good day. Well, it's rare for me to have a good day in New York without spending money. And that's not the city's fault. I think it had more to do with my mental health and things like not getting enough sun. Like in winter, it's the worst in winter. Not getting enough sun, not getting enough exercise. Again, my own fault, my own problem. And just not having motivation. And it just felt like there wasn't enough nature. Like I know I'm in a city, but I didn't realize how much the lack of nature would affect me. I feel like there's more nature on my apartment complex here than in Brooklyn as a whole, and that's fine. Like it's a city, but I realized that I do need that. And I don't know, I do enjoy walking around trees and seeing birds and hearing the birds and just being in nature in general. And going to the pool, man-made, but doing that, sitting out in the sun, going swimming, it helps a lot. It helps me anyway, and that's nothing that costs money. Well, I guess the pool is included in my rent, but you know what I mean. I had the best times in New York when I was going out and shopping and going out and buying stuff and getting $10 matchas. I make my matcha here now, and I'm happy with it, very happy with it. I go take a walk, I go to the pool, and I'm fine. The way that I can feel good throughout the day with doing the most basic things ever. I never got a chance to do that in New York. The most basic things in New York wasn't making me happy, and I just needed to like go spend money to fill a void. I hope any of that made sense, and truly it's a me problem. I'm not here saying that New York is this, New York is that. Like that's not what I'm here to do. We love New York. It's just, I don't think I'm at a place in life to live there right now. Not on my budget anyway. Maybe if I was rich, I could get some kind of penthouse apartment that was quiet and away from, that had really, really thick walls and was away from the crazies. I think this is one of the last things I'm gonna say, but Again, another me problem. I feel like it was so hard to eat healthy in New York because grocery shopping, like all the grocery stores are kind of small. Well, all the ones near me anyway. You could never get everything. Like I used to go to Trader Joe's, Target, and this other grocery store on my street. 3 grocery stores to try to get everything. And then also I'm like going up the stairs for the train and just walking back home with the groceries. Grocery shopping was an overstimulating mess, and then all of the grocery stores are packed and everyone's like, excuse me, especially Trader Joe's. And so that in itself was just such a bad experience, and it made me never want to go grocery shopping to actually get healthy things to eat at home. And then the kitchen at home was so tiny and not really functional with that tiny oven that doesn't even hold a regular size cookie sheet. Yeah, I wasn't encouraged. I didn't feel motivated to cook at home, cook healthy meals. And then New York also has such tempting restaurants. Like there's such good food everywhere. Like why would I go through that overstimulating mess when I could to eat a mediocre meal by me, when I could go eat something so good somewhere else? That was again, my lack of discipline. I went grocery shopping once and I've been eating in every day and I feel so much better, and I realized how much less I'm bloated, and I literally compared pictures. You would think that I lost weight or something. The bloating was crazy. As for why I chose South Carolina, basically I knew that one, I needed to stay on the East Coast. I don't know why. Something about the West Coast, I'm not with it. I think it's because it feels so far away. As I said, originally from Antigua, and I think a flight from Antigua to New York is like 5 hours. There's no direct flight from Antigua to South Carolina, well, to Charleston specifically, and there's no, even when I lived in Central Florida, there was no direct flight. Like you had to go to Miami first and then take another one, but it was still so easy and it was still short. But going from like Antigua to Los Angeles, for example, I don't even remember what it is, but it's way longer and it's just further away. I think that's why in my head I'm always like, I need to stay on the East Coast. It's too far, even though I haven't been home in so long. I'm just good with the East Coast. That was what I was focused on. Another thing is that I knew that I wanted to be closer to the beach. Like I don't need to be on the beach. I can't afford to be on the beach. But I knew that I wanted to be closer to it. When I lived in Central Florida, the closest beach was like an hour and maybe like 15 minutes away. An hour and 20, I actually don't remember. Something like that. Definitely a little bit over an hour. And now I'm like 25 minutes away. But there were definitely options other than here for that. I was thinking I could go back to Florida, just go to a different part of Florida. And then I was also thinking of, that one was like the bottom of the list, but it was there. It was there. Definitely the bottom of the list. Like, why would I go back? You know, I might as well experience a new place. And anyway, the other one that was like really on the top of the list with Charleston was Wilmington, North Carolina. And I guess I was just a little bit worried because I never visited there. I have visited Charleston before, which was it wasn't one of those things where I was like, I visited here, now I need to live here forever. But because when I booked that trip, it was right after I booked it a long time ago, but the trip itself was right after me spending 3 weeks in Europe. I was going to different cities and countries in Europe and drained my money a lot, drained my bank account, but I had already paid for the flight and hotel in Charleston. And a part of me was thinking that I wasn't even gonna go. I was like, I can't go, I'm broke. I also went to Toronto that summer to see my friend, to visit my friend. I'm like, I am so broke, I cannot go. But then I was like, I already paid for the hotel and I can't get that money back. Like even if I'm gonna go sit in the hotel, like I paid for it, might as well go sit in it. And so I found my way and I was just here. I had a really good time alone. It felt like a good place to be alone. don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know, I got a good vibe being here alone. Charleston just really ticked off the boxes of things that I wanted and areas that I wanted to be in and things that I was looking for. And so far, so good. I'm not saying that I won't regret it later down. We'll just have to see what the future holds. But so far, it's good. And I haven't been to Wilmington. I do want to go visit, and I hope that I don't feel like, oh, darn it, I made the wrong decision. That's why I'm here. That's why I chose Charleston. None of this is really, someone commented, are you gonna share the tea? None of it is tea. I feel like it's nothing crazy. I'm just a girl who moved away. Nothing too, well, actually, I guess the reasons why I left New York and all the things out New York is a little bit crazy, but New York is a little bit crazy. That's fine, but no specific big reason or anything. These pancakes are so ugly, but I feel like the strawberries make it better, and I just hope that they taste good. It's not about how it looks, it's about how it tastes. Gloomy day, so I'm cold in here, but I know if I go outside I'm gonna melt. But in here is kind of chilly, so I have this on. But after I make this matcha, we're going to unpack. And my books that I brought, it's so funny that I was like, yeah, let me pack some of my books. And then I got kind of ahead of myself and I ended up packing a lot of books actually. And I was like, yeah, this is a lot. And my shelf was looking very sparse. And I'm pretty sure I have most of my TBR here with me, if not all of my TBR, because my TBR cart was completely empty. But I might have had some unread books on the shelf. Anyway, I had the books all over the place on the shelf, and I was thinking like, oh yeah, I am bringing most of the books, but then I actually rearranged the books to remove all the space, and the bookshelf ended up looking like this. Like if I didn't even start moving. So yeah, I've got to figure that out when I go back on Thursday, Wednesday. I really should find out when my flight is because I don't remember. We're gonna see Beyonce on Saturday. I got my outfit last week when we were on a walk and I thrifted it for $16. I wasn't gonna buy anything new. My sister, she got a new outfit and it looks really nice, and I was just like, I'll wear whatever. But then there was this dress in the window. My sister was like, that would look so good for the concert. And I was like, yeah, it was $16. Love that, because truly a concert outfit, I don't think I've ever reworn a concert outfit. All of those like weird and interesting things that I wore to Harry Styles concerts, never rewore them. I'm just gonna stack my books up against this wall on the floor and just make like a book wall type of situation for now, because I want to make this area a nice cozy book space, but I really want to put thought into what I want to do with it before I just like buy a bunch of things and then kind of hate it altogether. I feel like I've definitely done that before, so I want to be intentional with how I'm gonna make the space look. So I don't know when this is going to actually have furniture, but for now, let's just stack the books up that I have. And then I'm gonna unpack my clothes. And that's, I think that'll be all I have to do to feel a little bit more settled. I feel like I need to be strategic about this. I need hardcovers on the bottom, but also I need books that I don't grab for, that I don't reach for too often. It's definitely not gonna be Emily Henry. I also need to separate my TBR. So this is what we're working with here. There's no really organization when it comes to the actual books, because I kind of just had to go by like what will hold up the others. Like all my hardcovers are at the bottom, and like my Emily Henry is at the bottom, and Blue Sisters by Coco Mellos is at the bottom. Those are some of my favorite books, and I would probably reach for those more, so it doesn't make sense to be at the bottom, but they are the hardcovers. And also all of Jessa Hastings' books are down here too, because they're just so like long and thick. So those are great for like, the base, but yeah, other than that, I just put them in quite randomly. And I feel like it looks like such a tiny little amount when we're no longer in my shoebox bedroom in New York. But this tall one here that's taller than the others, that's my TBR. So all of these are books that I've read, and this is just my TBR. And I'm pretty sure I brought most of my TBR here. I think if anything, there's probably like 3 or 4 books from my physical TBR that I didn't bring, but this is most of it. And honestly, Book Lovers is here because I want to reread it. I've read Book Lovers before. I think it's so funny that I was talking about my first ever move from Antigua to Florida, and I have the ticket for it. I don't know why I kept this. It was like with my my parents gave me this yellow envelope filled with a lot of my documents. They're just like, here, things that I've never seen, my social security card and my birth certificate and like this health card thing. Literally never seen those things for 18 years. They just kept them and they gave it to me, like, well, you're an adult now, you deal with that. It was with those things, and it just feels so random that I kept this. I don't know why I kept this, but I just thought it was funny. I was talking about that move, and I still have this. This either says, the words are really faded, it either says the 16th of August or the 18th, can't really tell, but it was a Wednesday when my entire life changed. I don't know. I don't know if I ever updated, but I think this sunscreen is what was causing these little bumps on my face, on my cheeks, which is really sad. Because now I don't have a sunscreen, and I am in South Carolina where it's basically already summer. I truly need a sunscreen. I was using this before I even came back here, and so I don't think I have an allergic reaction to this or anything. It's just, it's SPF 36. Like, is that doing anything? We need 50 plus. And this also has a white cast. Like, this isn't good. This is just backup, which I will be using. But I gotta return this because 2 days without it and my face completely cleared up. So I'm guessing it was this, unfortunately. I really loved how invisible it was though. Like, maybe I shouldn't use more. So I gotta return it. But look at how it's literally just clear. And like, that is so good. My skin does not agree with it though. end this video here. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me, doing the most boring tasks, listening to me yap. Filming it makes it way more enjoyable. But anyway, if you got to this point of the video, comment, I hate FedEx. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!